Democrats, I got to admit, we have a masculinity problem. All of our men that support the Democrats, like myself, have very high, squeaky voices and no muscle tone and long hair. Well, that one, they got me on that one, I guess. They got me on that one. Yeah. Anyways, we don't know anything about masculinity. Okay. We don't know anything about it. You know who fucking knows what masculinity is? The right. You know how I know? I mean, look at this dude. You want to talk about butch as fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the mess. The Mess D'Souza. And his lovely wife, Debbie, who wears the pantsuit in the family because he lets her, okay? Not because she made it, she wear whatever, but still. But I would like you to, I don't know that I can improve on the title of this video, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I can do it. I'm going to show it to you right now. I'm going to read it to you. But I don't think I can make, I can make almost anything funnier. I recognize that. But in this case, it would take some work. And you know what? It's not even worth it. It's some stuff is ripe right off the tree. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Mess D'Souza's video. The Democrats don't understand the true essence of masculinity. Now, I would like to say real quick that yes, it is a bit unmasculine to use the word essence in a sentence about masculinity. I get it. You're right. And hey, look at me. I got long hair. I don't have strict rules about what masculinity means. To me, if I could walk around dressed like Braveheart all the time with just a sash and my bare chest and a kilt on all the time, free balling it, I totally would. Blue paint on my face, right? But what do I know? Okay, I don't even own an Izod shirt from middle school 1982. Certainly not an off, not shocking kind of Best Buy manager blue. I don't even have one of those. So what the hell do I know about masculinity? Well, we got 3 minutes of the Mess D'Souza telling us, and he's obviously got I guess he's got some sort of AV materials that he could share with us that really shows us what the essence of. And I think what he means is we're okay with a chick who's a leader.
Quoting Dana Bash, he might not be the testosterone-laden, gun-toting type who wants to listen to Hulk Hogan. It's okay to be a man comfortable in his own skin who supports a woman.
Obviously not.
Now,
yeah, hold on. You don't think he's just going to let that slide, do you, ladies?
In my view, this distinction between the kind of Hulk Hogan archetype of masculinity and the...
I gotta say, I wouldn't call the Hulk Hogan an archetype of masculinity. I would call him a cartoonish example of hypermasculinity, which is probably how his manager sold him back in the day.
Kind of soft masculinity that supposedly Doug Emhoff and Tim Walz represent.
Supposedly, football coach, and I guess supportive dad and husband. That weak Weasley tiny. I'm sorry, I interrupted. Tell us again, boss. What's the essence of masculinity?
This is a bogus distinction because
it's a false choice. This is the wrong kind of binary. We need somebody who's very much right in the middle, half Hulk Hogan, half first gentlemensch.
Truth of it is, neither captures the true meaning of masculinity. Masculinity is not restricted to getting into the MMA ring. It's not restricted to showing your chest.
Yeah, but I do think, at least in terms of the way you guys talk about it, it at least has to involve the possibility. Doesn't mean you have to do it, but yeah, you're right. It's not restricted to that. Not so much.
Or speaking in a raspy voice.
Also, is this a video he posted online or a video message he sent to Debbie as an apology? Sorry.
But neither is it represented by the opposite of those qualities, not at all. Masculinity is actually something, and manhood, that is in some ways different than womanhood. And
Is it though? Are you sure? I don't know. Really? How committed are you to this distinction? And also, who can bench press more, you or Debbie? I'm going with Debbie. All right, go ahead.
I say this, one of my favorite...
I say this as a man who is literally trapped under the pages on my lap. I say this as a man who, when he has a cramp, calls an ambulance. I say this as a man who was once trapped by the fact that he tried to get his head through the sleeve of a shirt and wept until help came. I say this as a man.
Favorite Western movies is High Noon.
Why? Because the Weasley guy wins and you felt like, I feel seen.
And in High Noon, the protagonist, I think it's Gary Cooper, plays a sheriff.
Who was very short, by the way. And that was the joke that, for those of you who don't know, there's a line, I believe it's in Animal Crackers? Yeah, where Groucho Marx, they cut to him and he's talking to like 4 girls and he goes, that's not true, ladies. For one thing, Gary Cooper is a lot taller than I am. Like that, which is a joke because he's not taller than anybody.
And he has arrested this bad guy, but the bad guy is now out of prison and is coming to town at noon, high noon, to tear.
Is that a section of the watch? Is high noon like the early part of noon? I just need to know because I'm trying to plan my afternoon. Because, is it high afternoon? Can we try low dusk? I'm just a little, my schedule is just nuts.
Terrorize the town to get his revenge. And the townspeople are terrified, and but they have no response to this threat.
Right. Everyone there is short.
And it's going to be Gary Cooper's job, even though he's retired, even though he just got married, and he got married to a pacifist who doesn't like to fight, doesn't like violence.
So, he lets his wife tell him what to do? I'm starting to root for the bad guy, know what I'm saying? Bro, come on, bro.
And everyone in the town is telling Gary Cooper, you take off, you go on, we're going to be okay. But Gary Cooper...
We'll be okay. We'll just stay here and let him kill us.
...has got to realize they're actually not going to be okay.
Yeah. You know what? I don't think you are. Are you sharing right now?
And oddly enough, there are many people in the town who are more opposed to Gary Cooper, the sheriff, for all kinds of reasons. The deputy wants his job, so he wants the old sheriff to leave so he can take...
Well, why didn't you just wait for the other guy to kill him then?
...over. None of them are real men. This is the point of the story. And the real man, Gary Cooper, is not portrayed as Hulk Hogan. Is actually not even portrayed as, John Wayne or even Clint Eastwood from...
Real quick. Excuse me. I'll let you finish, shitting out the baseline of this plot in a moment. But I'd like to remind you that one of the reasons why you brought this up is because it's a rarefied movie, and that most Westerns did not have big Hulk Hogan-y kind of guys, but they were all butch as fuck, good shooters, tough guys. And the reason why when we think of a Western, we think of Clint Eastwood and John Wayne and fucking Tombstone and shit like that is because it's an act of hyper-masculinity. That's the appeal of it, dipshit. That's why when people go, the greatest Westerns of all time, they don't immediately go to the Gary Cooper one because it's not so much to say an episode of masculinity as a slice of life story that takes place in the West.
Some of the spaghetti Westerns, not at all.
You mean the ones that dominate the genre? Someone's trying to make the exception the rule.
The Gary Cooper figure throughout the film.
Right. You know, a lot of times when these big, they do these police officer dramas and stuff, and not all of them are Cobra and Dirty Harry. I don't know if you're familiar with the Andy Griffith Show, but the main police officer in there that does most of the watching the jail is a guy named Barney Fife. And he's not such, suffice to say, he's not the exemplary, he's not like a Schwarzenegger type. You're losing me. You're losing all of us.
Is a little bit moody. He's a little bit detached.
And Dinesh feels seen.
He's not.
He's got one bullet in his fucking pocket. We got some rules up here on the rock.
Not a man's man. In fact, most of the men in the town are not supportive of him.
I'm starting to understand the appeal to you.
He is a man in this sense that he sees a crisis. He recognizes there's something that needs to be done.
Oh, it's starting to sound like Joe Biden deciding to run in 2019.
He recognizes that no one else is going to do it.
And then,
Holy shit, that's the end. What, are you kidding me? That's the end of the... Hold on, back the fuck up. That's the end of the video? What? I'm just saying that is very unmasculine to just end the video there. Now, granted, I feel fine with him just kind of shitting out at the end of it and blowing it off. And I think clearly his editor was saving him and us all from this. And this video has been up for 3 days, and it's got fewer views, even with the suckers ending, than I have on a morning live stream. But whatever. Who the fuck am I, right?